Hello and welcome to another edition of A Better Life. And I tell you what, I'm a little bit winded. Just got off the plane, did some Christmas shopping up in Atlanta. And I tell you what, it's a beautiful day out there. And I hope that you're going to be finishing up your shopping, because this will be our last show before Christmas. So what can I say? If you're not done, hey, get on your plane, fly to Atlanta, do a little shopping. No, we want you to keep it all here in Baton Rouge. That's what this show is all about, a better life in Baton Rouge. So if you're going to do shopping, of course, support your local economy. And we are looking for that cool picture of a nativity scene. You still got time to get in on that winning a $100 gift certificate from Ruth Chris Steakhouse. Just send your picture into iWin at WLFT.com. We want to see your nativity scene, so send it to us. Let's see who's got the best one. And watch the website, and of course listen here to find out who wins in the future. But we'll email the winners so that you get your certificate. With me from Wolf Creek Business Growth Institute is a guy by the name of Robert Lobus. He's the president of Wolf Creek, and he's going to tell us about Business Growth Institute and what they provide. Welcome to the show, Bob.
Thank you.
Where are you from originally?
Originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hey, I like Milwaukee, Wisconsin, I tell you.
Came down here about 30 years ago, and I'm still waiting for winter.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful place to be
in Milwaukee, I mean, put away the golf sticks right after Labor Day.
That's
just about over with.
If you make it that long. So, but I am a cheesehead, so
okay.
From that part of
you've
the
been
country.
here 30 years
30 years,
in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, right, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
so what have you done those past 3 years that led you into what you're doing now?
Okay, well, I worked in corporate America, worked for major retailers like Gimbels and Macy's, and came to Baton Rouge to work for Godshaw's, and then owned a company called Young Fashions, provides school uniforms for about 7 or 8 years, and then sold that and got into manufacturing, and ran a printing company for a for a group of investors. And
so really you built your diversification.
Yes.
You in a lot of different areas.
Yep. Yes. Absolutely.
Which really led you to want to teach.
That's right. Always wanted to teach. Couldn't quite find the right venue for that. So came across this sales training franchise and purchased that about 15 years ago, and then expanded the business from that point forward to include strategic planning and staff development. And our line that we use, our motto is, we grow businesses by growing people, because that's the most important asset. We talk about human capital. You know, I always look and work with companies. I wish I could take those employees and put them on the balance sheet, because they have such great value, for us. And then we got into the strategic planning, and this is a perfect time of the year, because as we're wrapping up 2012, do business owners have a plan for 2013?
You know, a lot of small business owners are not afforded the things that corporate America has. I've been with very large corporations in my career, and to have all of those personnel and different departments you can go to for everything from graphic design to the mail room to getting stationery done, getting whatever you needed done to run your business. And a mom and pop shop or a small company with a few hundred employees doesn't have the money to hire a big ad agency or things that are needed. So what areas do you like to teach? I know today you're going to lead off with 4 things. What are those 4 things you want to talk about?
Well, what we're really leading off with is working on next year's plan. Because typically what we find is small business owners don't have the time to really, family time, personal time. They're so committed to and involved in working in their business.
Right.
We help them slow down a little bit, take a look at working on their business. And that has a big impact. And if we have a plan, the plan will give them some extra free time to balance their life and take care of their children and their spouse and the rest of the family, and have a balance in their life. So what we look at, there's basically 4 decisions that we look at in working with a company. We ask them and help them develop their strategy. Are they a neighborhood business? Are they a regional business? Where do they want to go? Not only looking at where they are today, but where do they want to go tomorrow, and the next day, and what is their, as we call it, a big, hairy, audacious goal? What would they like to see happen? Why did they get into business? We help them define that. We help them establish their values of what their company and business stands for. Because those are really the pillars of the business.
Branding is everything.
Yeah. And
now, the 4 things that you wanted to put on screen, one was Catalyst. Could you explain exactly what that falls under?
Well, that's really establishing a team so many business owners are out there alone. It's lonely at the top.
Sure.
So the catalyst, it really it consists of advisors and consultants and coaches. Now you're right, you can't afford all of those, but we can help them and help them help themselves. We give them the process. We don't do it for them, but we give them the process and show them
There's a
how
lot
to
of
do
free
it.
mentoring programs available that people can take advantage of.
Yeah,
But
right.
if you lead them down that path,
That's
they can
right.
seek those out too.
That's right.
They cost no money, but you can get the expertise of us old people that know what we're doing.
That's right. So there are a number of those things out there. So we work with them. I mean, I'm helping a company right now with some financial work and being that connector between the company and the bank and working that out, because we've done some of that work. But really, it's laying out the plan. It's looking at the big picture.
I got you.
Where do
Okay.
I want to be? And then we put in the accountability.
We only
into
got
that.
a couple of minutes. What's the
Okay.
drivers?
Okay, drivers are really the people that you have working for you. And the processes. Many companies do not, the smaller businesses don't have processes, so they keep doing things over and over again and trying to invent the process.
Sure.
And have to go back and say, how did we do it the last time we did it? This situation came up. But if we get processes and written processes, that's going to be the key, to help
good.
them free up that time. We talk about the disciplines. Those are really establishing the priorities.
Number three is discipline, okay.
The metrics, and really, how are you communicating with your employees? And we help them set up a meeting.
Threatening them, that's what we works best.
Right. Yeah, those things
You're
happen.
good, you're fired.
Yeah, that's right. It's my way or the highway type situation.
It's not the way to do it
No,
anymore.
but it's really, if they can get into an organized, set meeting rhythm of having daily, what we call daily huddles. They're like 10 or 15-minute meetings with everybody involved. What's going on today? There's only 3 questions. What happened yesterday that I need to know about? What's your plan for today? And are there any obstacles?
Good.
Bingo.
Number 4.
Number 4, discipline or decisions. These are the 4 major decisions companies have to make, business owners make. Talk about strategy. What's your strategy? Where are you going? What do you want to accomplish? Do you have the right people? Jim Collins in his book
Sure.
Good to Great talks about the right people in the right seats on the bus, and then knowing where the bus is going. So many business owners have great ideas, but they don't get them executed. So
Absolutely.
execution is the third of those 4 decisions. And then we work with them on the cash situation, because cash is really the oxygen for their
you
business.
bet.
It's always an issue, well, not always an issue, but many times an issue for growth.
Sure.
And so how do you do that? So we help them and we examine those areas of their business and help them develop the oxygen to keep that business going. So
Good
those
points.
are the 4
Bob,
decisions.
Bob, if somebody wants to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with you to find out more about what you have to offer?
Okay, they can email me, which seems to be the most popular way to do that, at bob@wolfcreekbgi.com, or they can call me at my office at 225-766-6626.
Okay. Of course, you can email me at WLFT.com. We can pass this information on to you. I appreciate you being
Okay,
on the
good.
show. I'm going to keep this and look at it
Okay.
a little more in depth, all right?
Appreciate the opportunity. Thank
All right.
you.
When we come back, we're going to go to the military side of things. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with A Better Life.
Promoting your business in these competitive times can be tough. You need to use everything possible to stand out in the crowd. Your vehicle is an asset most companies overlook when advertising. Now you can promote just like major companies by wrapping your vehicle with eye-catching graphics. Frogskin Graphics wraps boats, cars, trucks, and buildings. No job too large or small. Full-color banners, window graphics, and signs designed, printed, and installed by professionals. 683-9595.
Back to A Better Life. I'm Dr. Fry, and of course, we have people on here that are going to help you have a better life. Don't forget to send in your photo of your nativity scene. Win that $100 from Ruth Chris Steakhouse. I tell you what, we really want to give that away, and we hope that you will share in the holiday spirit by sending that in. Now, let's get on to the person that's with me now is Lieutenant G. I don't know what that means. These military people got all kinds of things. Norman Soren is the way I'm going to call him. And Norman is the commanding officer of the U.S. Navy SEC Baton Rouge Division. He's going to explain all that to us, aren't you?
Yes, sir, I am. Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Appreciate it, Doctor.
First of all, I'm too many initials here, so just tell me what exactly is this program?
The acronym stands for the U.S. Naval Sea Cadet Corps. And what that is a charter by the Department of the Navy and the Navy League to help mentor young men and women ages 13 to 18 who may be interested or contemplating a military career, primarily in the Navy, Marine, or Coast Guard.
Oh, okay. So kids in high school can get involved in this, and this was if you go by high school, you may see them out there marching or doing
Yes,
doing
sir.
different drills and stuff on the school grounds. That's
Absolutely.
part of it, and of course, I guess they probably do weekends or something too. Once a
Yes, sir. We primarily focus on the weekends. We don't want to compete with what's going on during the week, whether it's
Right.
football or band or whatever sport they may be playing. So we primarily focus on the weekends to get them out there and train them militarily to see if that's something they actually
what's
want
the
to do.
advantage of a kid making that decision as a freshman in high school?
Great question. It's huge. What it does is if that is going to be their ultimate goal, we prepare them to be successful at boot camp and then subsequently A school and then wherever they go from there. Just to give you an example, we have a Navy Special Warfare program. If you're interested in becoming a Navy SEAL or an operator is what they call them, they go through this Navy Special Warfare program designed to give you everything you need to be successful at that level. So
A lot of people read about the SEALs or see movies about the SEALs and have this, just a focal point of what a SEAL actually does. But the SEALs actually have a very broad play in the Navy. Expound a little bit on it so that people, they think all they're going to do is swim around scuba stuff and kill people.
Right.
But, I mean, their intelligence division and everything in Pentagon and other places. Expound a little bit about what the SEALs actually do.
Sure, it goes beyond the scope of what you and I could talk about during this segment, Doctor, of course. But just to give you a snapshot of what it means is these are the most highly trained, efficient operators on the planet. It could be argued that the Rangers and MARSOC Special Forces are right there with them. But regardless of all that, these guys have got to be the most well-rounded individuals, professionals, if you will, that you can possibly imagine on all fronts. So yeah, to prepare somebody for that, we feel that it's vital to have this type of school or have this type of operation that prepares them.
Sure.
Gives them the distinct advantage by
Now
the
you
time
say
they
it
get there.
prepares them for boot camp. We all know that that's a bunch of running and jumping and almost killing you near death or whatever. But anyway,
Yes, sir.
there's a lot more to it than that. And
Yes, sir.
I think that really what you're really educating these kids at is all the different technology they need to study in high school to be prepared to make it
Yes.
successful, just as a career in the service. Are you looking for kids that want a career or just 4 years in and out?
Well, it depends on the individual. Obviously, we like to believe that our investment of time is going to reap rewards further down the line, whether it be to the Naval Academy or to become a Navy SEAL, whatever level they want to achieve. We want to tap into what I like to call their seeds of greatness, help them discover their potential at whatever level that may be.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd love for them to all shoot for the stars, all go to the Naval Academy, all go to the Air Force Academy, all become, leaders for America at those levels. But it doesn't matter whether you want to become a Navy SEAL or you want to be a better cook. I really don't care. But I give you, or my Naval Special Warfare instructor, who is actually a Navy SEAL, gives you those tools you need, gives you what you need to be more successful, be a better human being, be a better American, be a better soldier, sailor, whatever it is that you want to do with your life, whether it's in the military or not. Be a better college student.
So
Just be
equating
better.
this a little bit to a karate school, and stick with me here for a second.
Absolutely.
A lot of kids go to karate, of course, they get involved because they want to break boards. But then they quickly learn that there is an entire science behind the art form, and they wind up becoming a lot better human beings. Is it basically what we're seeing here with your program too?
That's a great analogy, Doctor. Actually, it really is. That's what it boils down to at its simplest form is, yes, we want to teach you how to be more successful. It is whatever it is you want to do. And what they teach these men who go in to become Navy SEALs is exactly that. Leadership development, mental toughness. Ask any of them.
Mhm.
Every one of them, they'll tell you that mental toughness portion is more important than anything else.
Right.
And they take those skill sets, those intangibles, and they apply them in their life, whatever it may be, and they're the best of the best at whatever
Now,
they want
in
to
the
do.
old days, you had to have a college degree to become an officer.
Yes.
That's still the way it is in the military?
Yes, sir. That is
Right.
absolutely correct.
So it's very important for these kids to come out of high school and get to the Citadel or get to what you're recommending?
Well, personally speaking, I like to see that. I like to see them tap into that side of who they are and become those leaders that we need at that level. Absolutely. So we have a pipeline build. I've recently become a blue and gold officer for the Naval Academy, so I can recruit for the Naval Academy. We want to ensure, we firmly believe, that God and our country needs these young men and these women to be put in those positions of leadership to ensure our way of life, the freedoms and liberties that the Navy SEALs are willing to die for. So, but whatever level it is, yes, that's what our ultimate goal is. But if you want to become a Navy SEAL in the enlisted corps or in the officer corps, it doesn't matter. We want to help get you there and help you become the best you can be.
We had somebody on a while back that was talking about the need of 1.5 million welders, pipe fitters, and things like that in the state of Louisiana.
Wow.
In the next 2 years.
My God.
1.5 million shortage of qualified welders, pipe fitters, people that can do work in the oil fields, working that kind of. What are we seeing in the military as far as a shortage of coming up? Are we seeing a shortage of officers? Are we seeing a where is your business hurting?
That's another great question. I appreciate you asking me that. Well, first of all, yes, that higher quality of officer, number one, because let's face it, all starts with that leadership. And as we all know, you can be a good leader or you can be a not so good leader. And so we're looking to help develop
Like a quarterback.
Perfect analogy. Perfect analogy. You may have the skill set, but that doesn't mean that you're the guy that we follow into battle.
Right.
And trust. So we focus on their character and their integrity. So yes, that's always a great need. Like we were talking about earlier, that, and I don't want to keep focusing on that, but just a prime example is those guys who want to become special warfare component, whatever that means, whether you're a rescue diver or a SEAL or explosive ordnance disposal or SWCC, special warfare combatant craft crewmen, the guys who, if you saw
Sure.
the movie Act of Valor, come in and do their job. So yes, the special warfare component is always going to be the one that's more difficult to fill because obviously those guys they're one-of-a-kind guys. They're one-of-a-kind guys mentally, physically, spiritually,
Right.
emotionally. They're the best of the best. Also, medical careers and nuclear engineering careers.
Oh,
As
Huge.
Right. We don't need to.
And a huge shortage. A
Huge
shortage.
without question. So what the Navy has done is created a STEM program that the Sea Cadets can help your young person get involved with and go, hey mom, hey dad, I'd like to build a nuclear submarine. Kids are.
Right.
So we have a program where they can build their own remotely operated vehicle and build it themselves. And hey, I can do this, mom and dad. And we send them to a summer seminar program up in Annapolis and they learn how to build a submarine.
Alternative to space camp.
You got it.
Very real.
You
very
got it.
real.
That's exactly right.
All right, before we say goodbye, how do people get in touch with you? What do you want to recommend as far as finding out more information about your program?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. You want to go to www.louisianaseacadets.com, which is our website for our division. Then you can also do some research online for the Sea Cadets themselves at seacadets.org.
Okay.
And you'll find more information you could possibly use in a lifetime. Fantastic organization. And then my cell phone number, if anybody wants to get a hold of me personally, I'm welcome and open to that, which is 225-810-8838.
Okay. You can email me at WLFT.com if you want more information. I've got it all. We'll hook you up with these people. You said you had a special guest I wanted to have on the next segment. Who is that young man?
Yes, sir. His name is Cody Seaman, SO1 Cody Seaman, SO standing for Special Operator.
Okay.
He was attached to a few different Navy SEAL teams. He's a local boy. Grew up in Zachary, went to high school, graduated from Zachary High School, decided he wanted to be one of the best of the best. And he's the one that runs my entire Navy Special Warfare component. I trust him implicitly, quality individual, trained
Looking
properly.
forward to it.
Yeah, he's a great guy. You'll love
We'll
it.
be back with Cody right after a word from our sponsors, people who care about a better life. "2012 is an exciting year in broadcasting. WLFT has been bringing you the best in religious and family programming for over 10 years. Your new digital television allows you to do a lot more, including gaming, internet, and there's over 20 free TV stations you can now pick up over the air. Soon there'll be over 30 channels here in Baton Rouge, so mark the first of each calendar month to rescan your TV. Lots of free entertainment. Rescan Baton Rouge. Back to a better life. Wasn't that a beautiful shot of Monaco there? I tell you, I always love flying the plane over the coast of Monaco. It's so pretty over there. With me now, of course, is a guy that I promised was going to be on after we talked to the old man in the last segment. This is a young pup, grew up in Zachary, decided he wanted to do something with his life, and he did. Welcome to the show. Get this last name, Cody Seaman. Welcome to the show, Cody.
Pleasure to meet you, Doc. Pleasure
In
to
the
be here.
Navy, last name Seaman.
Yes, sir.
That had to be a riot going through all the classes and stuff.
I remember showing up at boot camp, about 140 pounds, setting foot on the scale, and then reading Seaman Recruit Seaman. And to this day, I still get it. So
I'll bet you do.
it was meant to be, I guess.
Something you wanted to, and I'll just jump right into it, Spihar.
Yes, sir.
Tell me why that's important to you and what it means.
Absolutely. Probably the best question ever. Camp Spihar was named after a very good friend of mine, Nicholas Patrick Spihar, a young man who grew up in Chisago City, Minnesota. He joined the SEAL teams, very much the same reasons I did. He was motivated. He wanted to serve his country, and he wanted to fight for his country with the best of individuals. He was a new guy of mine that I put forth everything I had into him because I just saw all of his raw talent that he had. He was the best operator. He was going to be the best supreme operator, in my opinion, way better than I ever was. But on August 9th, 2011, his helo was shot down over Wardak province in Afghanistan, and 30 members of his team was killed. So
that's really a nice tribute that you named the
absolutely.
program after.
Every camp forward operating base that we have is named after a fallen teammate, and I couldn't think of a better way to honor Nick than by having a camp in his name.
Absolutely.
And that trains young men in the exact same characters that he really embodied, which is attention to detail, leadership, motivation, mental toughness.
We could get into the story
Absolutely.
about kids in Iraq and kids in Afghanistan. I've got one over there myself, and our prayers with them every day. It's a tough job, but you chose to get into that job. Why do you want to encourage other people to get into that job? What's the rewards for you personally?
The rewards of becoming an operator is a lifetime of respect that you have for yourself, and what the special operations programs do for you. And if it's MARSOC Marine, Navy SEAL, Special Forces, it's all the same type of alpha male person. And what these programs do is they break you down and they mold you into something you really never could have dreamed you could ever become. And every task after that point is just, it's easy. You know that you can accomplish really anything. And the only thing keeping you back is yourself and your own laziness, in my opinion. I had a Sea Cadet candidate who actually washed out of our program who came to me later, and he said, you know, Instructor Seaman, after going through the course, everything that I do, it just, time moves slower for me, and things are so much easier. And he came back a second time, passed the course, and is now one of our really outstanding Sea Cadets.
How about that?
That a lot of younger kids look
Got to
up
give
to.
you a lot of personal satisfaction to watch these kids move on to the next level, and
Absolutely, and
That's cool.
it's very important to me that I get to mold these kids in the way that the SEALs molded me. And you know, BUDS, Basic Underwater Demolition SEAL Training, is a time tested or combat tested, time honored way of molding the best warriors, the best Americans.
absolutely.
And I'm taking that exact same concept and I'm bringing it to these kids, watered down of course, and really just showing them and teaching them what they're capable of doing in a way that really, like, their coaches, their football coaches, maybe their parents, other people, they really don't know and they can't really tap into. So I guess bottom line is, you know, it's important to me because I get to mold them. I get to see the fruits of my labor. I think it's important to the special warfare community because these kids are obviously physically fit, but they've been mentally tested. So before they even go to their selection course, they've been put through the ringer.
Right.
So they have a taste of it, versus other kids who are physically fit who've never really been challenged.
Absolutely.
I think it's important to the community because, you know, these kids, they're going to go through the course, they're going to go through the CCATs, ROTCs, they're going to become officers, they're going to become enlisted, they're going to maybe become special operators. But in reality, some of them will never put on a uniform a day in their life.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And-
we've got to get out of here this week.
All right.
But I'm going to have you back because there's
Okay.
a lot. I mean, there's things you want to share with us.
Absolutely.
There's things we can't share, or else you'd have to kill me. So we'll, you know, we understand that.
Well,
but
thank you for having me for the time being.
I appreciate it. I'll tell you what, we're going to have Cody back on a future show to go in some more depth about this. And we're sorry we were a little short on commercials this week, but I wanted to let the boy talk about what he had to say, and I think you'll want to hear him again. So until next time, stay tuned. Remember, have a better life through Jesus Christ.